Guys, hope you're well. It's Matt here from FCF Bootcamp, and I'm just doing a little chat about the lifestyle group and what it's really about and how it really kind of just explaining it really. So obviously, some people have already been doing it and well done, and you've had some good results from it, and that's fantastic. Some people will be really honest now. You started it and found it hard, and you didn't fail. You don't fail on this. The whole idea of this isn't, and it really isn't. I've got to really kind of emphasise this. It isn't signing up to this or getting involved in the group, and guess what? Just because you've signed into a group, then all of a sudden you're going to lose half. All the things you want are going to change. It doesn't work like that. All it does is you come into the group because you decide you want to learn about yourself. So you enter this group because you want to make changes, and that's a key thing. The title explains it all. What those changes aren't for me just the scales. They're irrelevant really. They're an extra, they're a nicety, they're a bonus. This is about understanding that the 5 key areas of life, which if you can change and get your head round and educate yourself, then you will put yourself in a better situation and then be able to achieve goals that you want to do. Drinking water, getting rest and sleep, and what they can obviously do for your body and how they can be detrimental towards it if you don't get enough. Exercise, we know it's the easiest one. It's kind of turn up and work hard, but it's also the hardest one because you sometimes do that. You turn up, you work really hard, and if the other areas aren't in sync, in check, then you won't find the things you want working. Therefore, you blame, oh, it's not working, this doesn't work. I'll try and find something else, and you go in a bit of a rut. So it's about nutrition as well, and understanding clean food and making changes and cutting things out, but replacing it and guessing what? Eating lots of food, good food. And then on top of that, you've got your your kind of stress levels as well, and understanding how they can be detrimental, and just trying to keep them in check and care about yourself. So entering the group, this is what will happen. I promise you. If you enter this group, you choose the level you want to work at and try and base yourself at. There'll be 7, 8, 9 things that you'll have to change, and depending on how much of it you want to change and are prepared to change, it will therefore give you results. Those results will be small if you're only going to change a few things. They'll be much bigger if you're willing to change lots of things. And change isn't just measurements and weight. It's really important, and they're the things we look at, especially in today's society. But if you want better energy, you want a better lifestyle, you want to keep track of understanding what the food you eat and what it can do to your body and learning about it, understanding how much food we actually eat. Do you know how much food you eat? You don't unless you track it. There is no way that you know that unless you're measuring your food and things like that. We don't have to go to that extreme either. Just by a weekly tracker, which we have on the group, which is a bit of a report into me, and I can oversee it and look at it and give you a few points, and then you can learn about yourself. If you've had a crap week, you can then look back and see, did I sleep very well? Haven't drunk much water? I only did 2 sessions, that kind of stuff. And rather than just blaming the world, you can then go, actually, I need to do this and I need to do this. And if you've got a plan to try and follow as well, a very simple plan, you can then stick to it. And if you stick to it, guess what? Like anything in the world, consistency, in these 4 weeks, and it's only 4 weeks, things start to change. And I go back to how much you're willing to do. The biggest thing with this as well, guys, it's really important. I'm going to use myself as a bit of an example. I'm going to put a post up in the FCF clients page on Facebook about it in the next couple of days. I'm really careful how I say this, because obviously I'm very much, you see so much out there, no bullshit, no this, get on with it. There's a lot of truth in that. We have problems in life. We have life. It creates so much for us. For example, I'm going to be very honest now. My problems that I could use as excuses if I want to, and sometimes I have done, could be and would be 70, 80-hour weeks. That's my choice. I love what I do, but I've chosen to do it. But I could go, oh, I'm too tired, I haven't got time, I get up at 5, I get home at 10, I can't do that. I could use that, and do you know what? Sometimes I do. I could use the fact that mental health for me is a big thing. Bipolar, I'm not gonna lie about it. I don't tell the world about it, but if it helps other people, you clients in my group, I could use it as an excuse. I have done at times, and sometimes it takes over, and I can't control it, so I have to do something about it. Again, I can let it be an excuse, so I have to go to my meetings, I have to have my medication, I have to keep it in check and look after my body, so I do that. I could also throw lots of stuff out there, money, time, family, friends, haven't got enough hours in the day, I can't do this, I've got to do that, and I could do. So I'm not saying excuses so much, I call them problems, I call them life. You have to decide as well, and that's part of the lifestyle group as well, is if you're, for everything on those lists, if you're saying, I want to do this, I've decided I want to lose some weight, tone up, gain some muscle, whatever it is, there'll be 8, 9, 10 things you've got to do. if every single one, for example, exercise 3 times a week, I can only do 2 because I work a lot of hours, that's an excuse. Okay, I'm really busy. We're all really busy, but that's an excuse. If you use it as an excuse, then unfortunately your changes and things you want to do will be longer in the coming. Eventually what you have to try and do is go, do you know what, there's hundreds of recipes on a site that you press and you have to then download it, it's there on your phone or whatever, and you have to cook. For me, if you're not willing to do that, then you can't blame anything else. It's a case of there they are. In the same time you could do that, you probably have ordered a takeaway, sat there, heated it up and eaten it. It's just about changing your mentality a little bit. Same with sleep, for example. Oh, I don't get enough sleep, but you go to bed at 11 o'clock and then you're on your phone or you're watching telly. Turn your telly off, try and make a conscious effort to try and get an extra hour's sleep. I don't like water, I can't drink water. Okay, we'll put some fruit in it and do something like that. Try and make it a bit more tasty. You know, those are the things you have to try and do. I can't make boot camp sessions. Can you go for a walk? You know, if you wanted to. Again, I train 4 times a week. I do it because I want to and I have to make those situations. I have to fit it in my week and I do it. I deliver boot camp, I get up at 5, I deliver boot camp at 6:15. I then have to be at work at 8:30 to 8:45. I could just go, oh, I can't be bothered, I'm tired. But I go and I get into a routine of doing it, and guess what, when I don't get into a routine of doing it, I feel shit, I feel tired. And I can then use my excuses, yeah, but I'm tired from the night before, I didn't get much sleep, my fault, I didn't go to bed early enough, all that kind of stuff. So it's not a dig at anyone, it's never a dig, it's just some reality that this group isn't a magic wand, it's real simple. It's kind of highlighting to you that, trust me, if you do 5 things, the 5 key areas, and you change them, amend them, look at them, take care of yourself, then things will happen. And the question then I'll come back to anyone and everyone is, people who are successful in this group, and success is based on many things. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. It's irrelevant what someone else does. If you've lost 3 inches, 10 inches, 14 inches, if you've lost £1, £10, if you feel better in yourself, if you're getting more sleep, you're getting more water, whatever it is, you start to cook or learn to cook or enjoy cooking, you have been successful. But you have to make changes. If not, then it is an excuse. Now, when I say excuse, I'm really clear with this one, guys, because I'm not a big kind of, you know, get on with it kind of thing. But there is a bit of that. Listen, if something is family and health and really, really serious in the world, then of course, nothing matters more than family and health. But if it's because you've had a long day and you can't be bothered, that's a reality. You will say, I work too much. There'll be someone out there who works 10 hours more than you. The kids don't like the food I make them. Well, I'm telling you now, the recipes, there's cheesecake, there's chocolate, there's nuts, there's things they'll love. The question is, before you say that, have you put a diversion in already? Have you actually looked at them? Have you looked at all of them? Have you cooked 1 or 2? If you haven't, you've just put an excuse out there. You're blocking yourself all the time. So with this lifestyle change group, what's really important, you can enter it as part of a boot camp group, that's fine. There's a support group in there. I'm not going to spoon feed you. I'll give you lots of tools, lots of information. It's like this video, if you watch all of it, brilliant. If you don't, then there's probably information in to try and help you and support you. So there is an accountability from yourself to want to make a change. So that's what will happen. And in this group, if you sign up to it, if you commit to it, if you follow everything in it as much as you can, you will make changes. If you enter it and think, oh no, A's happen, B's happen, C's happen, D's happen, I've got this is bad, I feel, that's fine, don't worry about it. You haven't failed, you're just not ready to generally, honestly make changes. And just be really honest, say, do you know what, I can't be bothered. That's better than blaming the lifestyle and everything. You know, again, I've injured my back, I've been injured, I haven't been able to train. I've got home at 11 o'clock at night. I'm in a 21-day challenge group. Every single day I do it. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I am not. I'm exactly the same as you. But 3/4 of my day, 5 days of my week, 9 months of my year, I've made a commitment because I want to look after myself. So I'm in that lifestyle group. I operate around the green level all the time. It's easy for me, you say. It's not. I work 78 hours a week. I could use an excuse. I could use my mental health issues if I wanted to. You know, I could use 101 things like you could, all different because they're all relevant. They're all problems and they're all relevant to you. But I've made a commitment to myself that I generally want to be 40 years of age and probably as strong as I've been, in good nick for myself. And that hasn't come easy. It's not because I'm lucky. I haven't just woke up like this one morning. I've put a commitment in to drink water, try and look after myself where I can, learn about myself, so that when hopefully I'm 50, I still feel good. Not for vanity, just because that's what I've chosen to do. So it's a bit like you. If you choose to enter the group, you will be successful. I promise you, if you stick to it. And then what it will give you is the education, the tools, and the knowledge to then use after that. This is more, I'm more interested in you coming away going, oh yeah, if I do more of this, if I do more of that, I improved here, but I recognise now that's not as good. And don't come into it going, oh, I only lost £4. It doesn't matter. You've lost £4, that's brilliant, well done. But be aware there's 5 areas, and the ones we ignore, all we usually concentrate in this society is food and exercise. Well, that's great, but if you have a not bad diet or good diet, and you exercise 3 times a week, but you get no sleep, you're stressed out of your head, you drink no water, guess what? They will be detrimental to the things you are doing. It's better to do the 5 areas and look after them well, 7 out of 10, let's say. If you do that, you will get better results. So the whole idea of this group, guys, is to change your lifestyle and is to try and learn about yourself and care about yourself. And I kind of leave this with you a little bit. You know, that's if you're still interested, still want to, get involved. Please only enter. Not through curiosity. I'd rather you email me or ask me about it, and only really enter this group if you think you are generally willing to make changes. If it just sounds good and you think that someone's going to do it all for you and make food for you and it's all going to be miraculously better, and you're not willing to make changes because you've got excuses that block those things, it won't work for you, and it'll be something else to blame. It'll be the group's fault. It's not the group's fault, because there'll be 3/4 of people enter it will get results. If you would like to be like them, I don't mean be the same as them because it's irrelevant what they do, but have changes and see progress, then sign up with an open mind and prepare to work hard in that month and make changes. Guess what? You can still eat cake. I do. You can still have a beer. I do. You can still eat your favourite foods. I do. But you just have to try and balance your lifestyle a little bit. And these aren't massive things. When I tell you you've got to drink a bit more water, it's free from the tap. If I'm saying you've got to do some more exercise or regular exercise, well, there's boot camp sessions for you to attend, or guess what? We can walk out the door and go for a walk, or maybe use a bike. If I'm saying you've got to get a bit more sleep, I can guarantee that most people go to bed later because they want to watch Love Island, for example. I do. Or they're on Facebook. You can just stop that. Is it really that important? Is it more important than your health and you? Are you willing to make that an excuse? Stress, be aware of it. If you have problems and which are personal to you, address them, talk about them. All these things come into place. And also, for example, just looking after your body. It's really, really, really sad in today's society that we will spend more time trying to fit in than actually looking after ourselves, and we sometimes put ourselves last. I know it's hard, I know it's tough, I'm not saying it's easy, but what I am saying, this group will help you. But what you have to be willing to do is be open-minded and make changes. If you do that, you'll get something from it, be it short-term, medium-term or long-term. But like anything, if you spent 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years not doing this at all, don't expect it in 4 weeks, but do expect in 4 weeks changes to happen. The more you make, the quicker they come. The slower you go, the slower they come. But as long as they're coming, that's all that matters. Big love, get involved. If you've watched the whole of this video, then hopefully, if you're in the right mindset and ready to go, you'll benefit from it. Lots of love.